It's as if I've been in a long dream. My consciousness is an immobilized seed that's buried deep in dark soil. The space around me is compressed into an endless void without any reference points. It is impossible to sense the passage of time. My memories are no different from a thick fog now, yet occasionally I hear voices in the distance. They fluctuate between being near and far. There are jubilant cheers from the living and sorrowful sobs from the dead.
I will find you.
Ooh. This voice is akin to a hallucination born from endless waiting. However, it is the only ray of light penetrating this blackness. I don't always hear it, but when I do, the faint light advances a little further into the void. In the endless waiting, I sense the heavy darkness. It slowly recedes. And after traveling for what feels like centuries, that light grabs my wrist. I beg of you, don't let go. Please pull me out of this endless void. Please lead me out of centuries of darkness and solitude.
The Chosen One has been summoned. She shall deliver us, Philos' survivors, from the endless darkness.
The Chosen One has been summoned. She shall deliver us, Philos' survivors, from the endless darkness.
My vision gradually comes into focus, and a shattered dome ceiling materializes. Below the altar, countless pale faces emerge from the firelight. Their gazes, fixated on me, are empty as despite burning with great intensity.
We will return to Philos prior to the apocalypse.
Return to Philos? What are they talking about? Where am I? Did she time travel or something? Bewildered, I lower my head and stare at my hands. My fingertips retain a faint warmth. My wrist is suddenly pulled upward. Wearing white robes, the bishop drags me to the center of the altar with an irresistible force. Excruciating pain pierces my palm. The gem on his scepter is as sharp as a blade, and blood falls.
Behold, she possesses a vessel of flesh and blood!
Garbed in white, the acolytes cheer at the sight of my blood. While this absurd scene unfolds, a strange trembling rises. I feel it in my feet. But it's not that I'm afraid. Rather, the ground is actually shaking. Reminiscent of thunder, the sound of horse hooves approaches. From my position on the altar, I can see a figure wearing black armor. The individual smashes the monastery gates to pieces.
Oh, it's him.
The tyrant! Oh!
The kneeling acolytes lift their heads one by one. They're shocked at the sight of the trembling stone doors. Then, the doors break. Amidst flying stone fragments, an arc of black and gold steel cuts the acolyte's leader in half.
Stop the Mad King at once!
The acolytes shout, and cries are silenced by the gleam of his blade as it swung. Unwilling to hesitate any longer, I quickly jump down from the altar, step over the white robes strewn across the floor, and slip into a shadowy hiding place.
My lady, you...
Quiet. I'll count to 3 and let go. I suggest you answer my questions. With his mouth covered, the acolyte nods. However, his expression shows excitement instead of fear. I were you. Who's he? What should I pick? Who is he? Do you know the man who charged into this place?
He is the sinner who destroyed Philos.
A sinner? Who are you?
We are acolytes who belong to the Order of Babel. We reside in the most scholarly, sacred monastery in Cindersfell.
The Order of Babel? Cindersfell?
You are here to help us to return to Philos.
Who am I?
You are the chosen one from Philos. The Cinder's waters washed you ashore. For a long time, we were waiting for you to awaken.
My memories are hazy, my mind clouded. I can't remember anything about myself. They keep calling me the Chosen One, but how can a person's name and identity be reduced to a cold, impersonal title? I barely made it out of that darkness alive. I'm not going to die here. How do I leave? The acolyte holds my hand with an iron grip. His voice is tinged with a childlike fanaticism.
You're awake. Why should we leave? You shall save us all.
You're mistaken. I can't save anyone. The whistles of the sword's edge was getting closer and closer, yet the acolyte stood frozen like a statue. Damn it. What are you waiting for? We need to run. He's not the only one. The other acolytes have also fallen to their knees to worship something. Their singing grows more fervent with each verse. Ooh, push him aside or kill him. That's intense. I'm gonna kill him. I don't hesitate. I grab a sharp candlestick and drive it into his wrist. Ooh, MC, girl. He still grips my hand with an unyielding strength. He feels nothing, not even pain. I drive the pointed end of the candlestick to his chest. The figure before me seems to be torn apart by an invisible force. He dissipates into dust. These people, all of them are... I whip my head around to look at the devout expressions under the light. None of them cast a shadow. These acolytes and the old man who cut my palm earlier, the revenants. The cinders they spoke of truly is a place inhabited only by the dead. Oh, they're dead.
Xavier, relinquish that sword which is bathed in the blood of your brethren. If you do, I shall forgive your slaughter and absolve you of your sins.
Sins? What crimes did I commit to become a sinner?
Xavier! His voice, that little... Oh, I need to hear that again. That little dark chuckle of his.
Sins? What crimes did I commit to become a sinner?
Oh my god, he sounds so different. One more time.
Sins? What crimes did I commit to become a sinner?
Beautiful. Oh my god. I had seen people talking about how the king voice is like a lot lower, and I noticed it too, like his voice lines in battle. But hearing it in this vid, yes.
Is teaching the dead to cease their incessant chatter a crime?
You...
I take a deep breath. I force myself to calm down and hide in the shadows.
An assassin sought death at the castle. Was it your doing?
Is he talking to me?
They always waste their last breath singing the hymns you taught them.
Oh.
It is very annoying.
Talking to that bishop guy. Oh my god. I cannot get over this king outfit. This dark king outfit. So good. Using the narrow gap in front of me, I watch the figure approaches the bishop.
Philos' prophecy rings true. The Chosen One has appeared, and the land will be saved. This city, as well as your fate, shall...
Firelight dances as long hair cascades from underneath the man's crown. A soft, gentle glow is reflected.
Your life is about to be snuffed. Where is this so-called chosen one?
He steps forward, his black and gold boot treading on the hem of the bishop's robe.
Are they preoccupied with praying for your salvation?
You, irredeemable traitor! You are the sinner who destroyed Philos!
Clang, the bishop's scepter is sliced in half. He backs away until he collapses against a confessional.
She shall be the harbinger of your demise. You are here to die.
That is where I must correct you. I'm here to attend your funeral.
Oh, that's cold. I love that.
That is where I must correct you. I'm here to attend your funeral.
You're wasting your energy. You cannot kill me, nor can you.
Everything seemingly comes to a standstill. Then a corpse slowly settles onto the ground under that man's feet. It kicks up dust. The stifled groans fade while the night wind extinguishes the last flickering flame on the altar. The man slowly lowers his blade. Surrounded by sparks and dancing cinders, he descends the long staircase. I'm stunned, and my fingertips are numb. They can almost feel like the reverberations from that sword's deadly swing. In the darkness, the sound of footsteps grows more distant. Is he gone? Still tense, I wait for what seems like an eternity before I use the wall to support myself. I cautiously step out from my hiding place. I need to leave. The entire hall is deathly silent. There's only rubble and a white robe on the floor. Stone pillars have collapsed, and flames creep along the spilled wax on the cracked floors. Ghostly lights frolic across the walls. I turn and thud. A sharp blade, having been thrown past me, is now embedded in the stone wall behind me. The night breeze plays with his long hair, but he doesn't move. He stares at me for a long, long time. Part of me feels as if we're not meeting for the first time. I could almost believe we're reuniting after being separated for years. However, this illusion is shattered by his next move. The man they call a mad king leans down. He lifts the tip of his sword and touches my throat.
Only the dead dwell in Cindersvale. So, who exactly are you?
Woo-hoo-hoo. We're off to a hard start here. A tale circulates every corner of Cindersfell. There was once a glorious kingdom called Philos. It fell during a catastrophic war. Everything perished, and a void swallowed the land. Death's shadow swept through every nook and cranny. Yet, if one could find the tree of life that connects life and death, they shall be reborn. They'll be able to embark on a journey home. And the one who will be their guide and light to the path is the chosen one of Philos. The sword rests near my throat. The slightest movement will kill me. You heard everything?
Indeed. You are the chosen one foretold in the epic poems.
Death approaches as an inexplicable rage boils within me. I grit my teeth and speak. Can't the words of the dead be considered a prophecy? They're nothing more than last words. You want to kill me because I was crowned with the title of the Chosen One. He doesn't respond as he studies my expression. He reminds me of a hunter examining the desperate state of his prey in its final moments. Release me. Although one's life is easy, it's also boring. Many revenants have already fallen. You still need more playthings?
They must pay the price for pursuing eternity. And as luck would have it, you've caught my interest. Cindersfell can only be inhabited by the dead. You are alive.
I have no idea how I even arrived here. All my memories remain trapped in those centuries enshrouded in darkness. They're akin to seeds buried underground. If you wish to slay me, then do it. I'll be able to join their ranks as a revet.
Gambling with your life isn't how you properly threaten someone. Let's not forget, a death wish is an easy request to fulfill. And that this blade can only cut down the dead.
No wonder people hate him with burning intensity. To be hunted, even in the semblance of an afterlife, saps away their chance of happiness.
In any case, I have no intention of killing you.
Truly? The wound on my palm reopened during our struggle. Blood trickles down my wrist. He pauses and furrows his brow as he stares at my wound. Then he pulls my hand to be right in front of his eyes. Is he like those fanatical acolytes? Has he not seen a person bleed in eons? He tears a piece of cloth from the hem of my skirt. With his gaze lowered, he wraps the makeshift bandage around my palm. What is he trying to do? Is this how you make people submit? You threaten them with the sword before offering bait?
Don't move. I only stopped the bleeding. Your wound hasn't healed.
Answer me first. Ah! He ties a knot over my wound, picks up his heavy sword, and turns to leave. My mind tumbles further into chaos. I jump down from the stone coffin and grab the corner of his cloak. Why are you changing your mind again? He turns around. A moment passes before he offers a faint smile.
Perhaps I'm wondering how someone who bleeds so easily could be a savior.
I slowly let go of him.
Danger lurks in every crevice here. Stay alert. I wish you luck.
The sky darkens as moonlight disappears in the canopy of trees. The thick, tangled branches obscure the paths ahead, but the scenery remains vivid in my memory. No matter where you are in Philos, you only need to look up to see the imposing, gloomy castle. In its opulence, it stands with solitary majesty.
The moon is bright here. I was looking at a moon like this when I died.
How was I slain? I can't remember. It could have happened on the battlefield. Or those monsters that bite people.
When he rode past us on that horse, he splashed mud all over me.
Yes, he has this deathly, murderous air around him. I was so terrified that I didn't.
Looking toward the source of the voices, I see 3 revenants hanging from the withered tree branches. They sway in the wind with their chatter. Who was the horseman? Can you tell me anything about him?
The sinner of Philos.
The tyrant who betrayed his own people.
He is the scoundrel who stopped us from returning to the land of light and eternity! Defeat him and take his head! Everyone hates his very existence!
Unsteady, the ropes sway. The one belonging to the last revenant snaps because of how agitated he was. The corpse plunges into the swamp below.
It's getting dark, and the fog is coming. You'd better find a place to take shelter.
This world still feels unfamiliar to me. He's not wrong. My highest priority at the moment is finding a safe location. Where can I find such a place?
The city at the foot of the mountain, of course. It's the liveliest place in the area. The echoes of the royal capital still linger there.
You must navigate through the forest, the swampland, and the remnants of a battlefield. Remember to gaze at the moon. Once you reach the ferry's dock, you can cross the river.
Take a silver coin with you. The old ferryman has a nasty temper. If you're not careful, he'll kick you into the river.
I look into the distance. As the westernmost edge of this land of exiles, the monastery sits in a secluded corner on the highlands. It's far away from where the Mad King resides. To reach Cindersfell, I need to traverse the forest and fog at the base of the mountain. The fog thickens and envelops the forest as daytime dins. Everything around me becomes a hazy blur. A broken bridge, and another end of the road. In the place of crescent moon is one that wanes. Its reflection dances across the murky water's surface like countless spectral figures. Everything that falls into the water sinks without a trace, except for the moon's reflection. I mark a tree branch to trace my path when I turn around and continue my trek. In a forest clearing, knights with spikes and silver armor sit around a fire. There are knights in a place like this? They aren't moving, and their lifeless eyes gaze up at the moon in the sky.
May Philos prosper under eternity's divine gaze.
May Philos prosper under eternity's divine gaze.
Silence. Do you hear that? Footsteps approach us from the southwest.
Only the living can make that sound. Is the Mad King here?
All the knights suddenly turn their heads toward me, and the fire illuminates their faces, which are paler than their silver armor.
The Mad King has not graced us with his presence. However, she carries his essence.
Outsider, have you pledged your loyalty to eternity itself?
What?
She has no answer. She's a traitor to eternity.
The suit of armor collapses as the skeletal remains within them begin to glow with an eerie blue light, leaping orange flames around them. Cold blades slice the air as howling winds erupt around them. Before I can react, they charge toward me. These knights in silver armor are revenants. Ooh.
Get on. We meet again. Hold tight.
Oh my god. Xavier on a horse. Earlier, you mentioned the price of pursuing eternity. What were you referring to?
The dead are trapped in a perpetual cycle. Only painful deaths await them. Leave while you still can, or you'll meet the same fate.
Oh my god. I like the way he's talking to me right now.
In a rush?
Didn't you tell me to leave while I still can? Oh my
I
god, they
said
look
leave,
so cute.
not die.
My MC looks so pretty
This land
here.
only cares about you walking into its trap.
They said the fate of the city is in my hands. I'm the chosen one. It's also my weapon against you.
You said their fate is in your hands. However, you're still in my hands. Is this form of etiquette sufficiently respectful toward the chosen one?
Why is he talking to me like that? I can't handle this. I can't handle this. I can't handle Dark King Xavier right now. It's too much. It's too hot. Okay. I need to calm down. We're only in, what, chapter 2 of this myth. Whew.
I told you this place is fraught with danger. You need to be cautious.
Yes, of course, and people's intentions can be just as treacherous. You've never heard of Philos' prophecy?
I've heard more last words.
Such as?
Excuses from the greedy. The pleas of those on death's doorstep. Confessions of hypocrites.
This is so pretty.
They are but vanquished foes.
Xavier, I curse you. You shall never find deliverance. You will be devoured in the act of slaughter.
Is that so? May your last words come to fruition.
Whoa. With wails and curses, the last of the revenants falls to his blade. The mist disperses. Moonlight illuminates the armor and broken swords that lie scattered on the ground. They bear the ancient patterns of Philos. Were they Philos' knights in the past? If you're their king, then why? I turn around as I speak. The man suddenly loses his balance and falls toward me. The tip of a crimson sword is protruding from his left shoulder. Blood flows from his wound and a faint black mist swirls around it. Is this from the revenants? You will be devoured in the act of slaughter. His hand covered in an iron gauntlet grabs my wrist. I'm trapped between him and the tree stump behind me. I can't move. Are you alright? When were you injured? He struggles to keep his eyes open, and although his gaze is slightly unfocused, his voice remains cold.
Help me. I need to go over there.
I would have done that if you didn't give out an order. After gathering enough fallen leaves and dry branches, I build a fire at our resting spot. In the fire's glow, his face is deathly pale. It's almost drained of color. Would you like to warm up by the fire?
No need.
Do you need water?
No.
Do you want to rest? Very well. If you want to sleep, then I will. The night is cold and damp, so I'll be borrowing your cloak. He shifts slightly without saying a word. His eyes are still closed, but he does move to make room for me. cold wind howls throughout the forest as it becomes fiercer. I hug my arms tightly, lean against his side, and act as if it's not unusual. You have a heartbeat. You breathe, you bleed. You're alive, just like me. Is that why you didn't kill me at the monastery? Did you see yourself in me? He didn't seem interested in answering my question. During the battle, his sword was the only weapon capable of slaying the Revenant. No wonder that old man with the white robes wanted it. While connecting the pieces of information in my mind, my gaze shifts to the sword lying half a meter away. It's a great sword that devours light. Aside from the back of the blade being thick, the weapon itself is completely black. Mysterious runes are just inscribed on the sword, and they surge with the light whenever it's swung. Does your weapon have a name?
No, it's just a sword.
Then your horse's name is Horse? He doesn't respond, and silence settles between us. What about your name? Should I just call you Man? I acted like I'd forgotten his name just so I could bring it up.
Xavier.
Despite knowing how dangerous this forest is, you willingly entered it. You have my thanks.
You are mistaken. Worthless rabble trampled on my garden. I cut them down, roots and all.
His nonchalant tone suggests I'm the first person he spared. My unspoken words remain in my throat as my gaze shifts once more to the terrifying sword at his side.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, but this blade cannot harm the living.
Then, when he used it against me at the monastery that day, it was just an act of intimidation?
Yes.
Inexplicable anger rises within me, and I tug the thin blanket covering my body. The fabric in my hand feels unexpectedly heavy, and only then do I realize it's his actual cloak. Just as I'm about to let go, he leans toward me. The edge of the fabric touches my fingers and carries an unexpected warmth. The thick fog has dissipated when I open my eyes. A crescent moon hangs in the firmament and casts its light upon the embers of our campfire. He helps me onto his spectral steed, and we traverse the forest before the next moonlit night arrives. Whenever we encounter those revenant knights, they swiftly cut down by his massive black sword.
Xavier, only an agonizing death awaits you.
As we pass through a swamp, I see a dead tree that has half fallen. It's covered in the lingering souls of soldiers who died in battle. He remains calm and spurs the horse forward. We press on. It seems these revenants aren't very fond of you. What crime did you commit to make them hate you so?
To properly tell the tale, I'd have to start with the era in which they were truly alive.
With a slight tug of the reins, he prompts the horse to leap across a ravine. I know they're afraid of your sword, but once the revenants are slain, where do they go?
Nowhere. Once the phase of the moon changes, they'll come back to life.
The dead are trapped in a perpetual cycle. Only painful death awaits them. That's what he meant. After an unknowable amount of time passes, rain falls from the sky. The remnants of an ancient battlefield emerge on the distant horizon. Collapsed stone tombs accompany overturned coffins. Rusty swords, broken spears, and worn helmets are scattered about. The rain washes away the dirt from the tombstone to reveal the text carved into them. In a chaotic era, kingdoms fall like shooting stars. The Order of Lightseekers fought until they breathed their last breath. Countless blood-soaked battles fought with unwavering courage. Their tales live on in song, their heroic deeds forever engraved in our hearts. In the year of the Philos calendar, the kingdom fell. The royal capital was destroyed, and the royal bloodline was extinguished. The knights, our exalted honorable guardians, they now rest in the silence of a long night. On the day the order ceased to exist, the names shall be carved into these historical monuments under eternity's divine gaze. Like the stars, they are distant but never cease to shine.
What are you looking at?
After tying the horse to a tree stump, he walks towards me. I wonder if my name might be with these knights.
Why?
Philos didn't meet its demise until I was gone for many years, but for those who once knew me, I must have died early. If I wasn't an exiled prisoner, then someone should have remembered me. It's possible they made a memorial.
Is being remembered that important to you?
I'm unsure of when he had lifted his cloak to shield me from the rain. These knights fought for their country when they lived. After they died, their tombstones were used to pave roads. Being remembered isn't important, but if no one remembers you, then isn't that the same as never existing in the first place? It took him a while before he finally spoke in a calm, indifferent tone.
The rain is about to cease. We should leave.
My legs are numb because I was crouching for a long time. Seeing me struggle to stand, he grabs my wrists and hoists me onto the horse. In the distance, the forest path gradually widens and becomes a road. An endless expanse of land stretches toward the horizon. And across the river is our destination, Cindersfell. Our journey is less than pleasant, all things considered. Finally ends as the crescent moon disappears. A new moon rises. The ferry crossing is enshrouded in a gray mist. When we arrive, the riverside is already crowded with revenants who want to cross. The revenants from earlier said I must cross this river by a boat to arrive at Cindersfell. An unexpected event occurs. The lively atmosphere of the dock disintegrates when we appear.
He's here!
The revenants who are talking amongst themselves fall silent and back away. They create a clear path for us. Accustomed to the situation and unfazed, I pull out a silver coin I had found in an abandoned tomb. It'll pay for the fare. Xavier remains in the same spot. It's then that I realize he doesn't have a coin.
1 coin per person. No exceptions and no credit.
I can take care of any revenants that try to cross without paying.
Your presence alone is bad for my business. I'm not even sure I want to let you board. So, are you crossing the river or not?
Is King Xavier a brokey right now? As soon as he steps onto the boat, however, all the revenants swarm to the stern. It starts to sink under their weight. Meanwhile, the bow, where Xavier and I are standing, rises.
Either find a seat or get off the boat, you dead bastards.
The revenants on the stern proceeds to leave as if they were pardoned from execution. Only the 2 of us remain. In the silence, the small ferry moves across the water and disappears into the rippling moonlight. I look at I look at Xavier as he rests. He has folded his arms and his eyes are closed. You owe me half your life, and now you owe me a coin. Wouldn't you say I ought to be paid?
You want to use my debts against me.
I'm not asking for everlasting gratitude. I only want you to pay your dues. I clear my throat to deliver the words I prepared. I want your weapon, the sword that makes the revenants cower in fear.
No.
I can sense his resolve in that answer, but I expected as much. Since my first request was rejected, the chances of the second one being accepted are higher. If I can't have his weapon, I still need shelter if I am to survive. But living with an unpredictable individual is risky.
If you cannot decide before we disembark, there will be no payment.
I won't allow it. Since you live in the castle on the other side, I'll meet you there when I think of payment. He neither refuses nor accepts. It's as if he can see my innermost thoughts. Without a bond forged through hardship, this might be my only chance to request something from him.
Before we part ways, let me offer you one piece of advice. If you want to survive here, don't offer your kindness so easily.
He closes his eyes and he refuses to respond no matter what I do. The fog over the river gradually dissipates to reveal a towering black castle in the distance. Just as the ferry is about to reach the shore, it strikes the shoal and rocks. My body lurches to one side. When my fingers touch the reflection in the water, ripples spread out and converge toward my fingertips. They coalesce into an elusive image. This is... Is she having, like, flashbacks? Brightly colored flags slowly rise as white floral arrangements line both sides of the marble staircase. A young knight ascends the long staircase. Amongst the cheers of thousands, he ascends the throne. A hand places a crown upon his head. A lumen flora, the symbol of Philos' royal family, is pinned to his lapel. Oh, look at Lightseeker Xavier. The illusion shifts to reveal an entirely different scene. Fortification crumbles. Ruins cover the land. The royal capital, once peaceful, has become a battlefield enshrouded in war smoke. The rebel army storms the capital. They force the young king to take his own life. Yet their swords are melted into liquid steel in the furnace and cast onto the throne itself. It's the Iron Throne. Peace is restored to the kingdom a century later. There are no more casualties from the war for hundreds of years, yet people have come to despise this monarch. The knight, once adorned by thousands, is now reviled. He's nothing more than a mad king.
The boat is docked. You should get off now.
So this is happening after Lightseeker, it seems. The voice pulls my thoughts back to reality. I raise my head and notice the space beside me is empty. Did I see his past? Shock washes over me. In the darkest hour of the night, scattered lights illuminate a ruined city in the distance. The wind rustles the grass as his figure quickly vanishes into the darkness. I'm gonna need somebody to do like a breakdown of this whole timeline. It seems very timey-wimey. If there's something you should know about me, time travel, confuses me sometimes. Time travel and like alternate universes and stuff like that. I can get a headache from it sometimes, so. I've been wandering the city for days. Although I failed to discover new information, I feel more free than ever before. What surprised me was that every revenant here firmly believes they returned to Philos one day. And before I knew it, I started to believe it too.
Within that rotten black castle is the Mad King, who sits on an abandoned throne. Countless kingdoms, innumerable cities, all their denizens wept under the hooves of the tyrant's iron cavalry.
At the square, in the busiest part of the city, many revenants have gathered. I pull my hood tighter and move closer.
The dead were turned into weapons. Their bones and souls are mere cannon fodder for his wars. When he confronted the Order of Babel, many of our brethren were reduced to ashes by his hand.
In the center of the crowd stands a revenant in white robes. Passionately denouncing the Mad King's crimes, he's dressed as an acolyte from the Order of Babel. He looks familiar. Is he the acolyte who escaped that day?
Will we come back to life next month? Unhand me!
No more dissenting voices rise from the crowd. The revenant acolyte surveys the gathering before speaking with satisfaction.
But we have received good tidings! The Chosen One, who shall deliver us, has answered our call. She's already here!
Anticipation ripples through the revenants, and some lower their heads to whisper devout prayer. Most fix their intense gaze on the acolyte. They eagerly await his next words.
Before the apocalypse descends, the sacred pilgrimage ceremony will proceed as planned. We shall reach the Tree of Life and return to our homeland.
What is this pilgrimage ceremony and Tree of Life they speak of?
Yeah! Fantastic!
Where's the Chosen One?
The Chosen One. The Chosen One is...
It's me. A sense of foreboding stirs within me. I turn to leave as I hear excited shouts behind me.
Over there!
The Revenant acolyte points at me, so every Revenant's gaze falls on me.
She is the Chosen One! Our prayers have summoned her!
Acting as if they've seen a goddess, the Revenants run toward me, fervent with cries that resound. Countless hands reach out and cut off my escape route. Jubilant, they hoist me up above their heads. Wait, release me at this once. The Revenants carry me to the castle perched on the tallest hill. I wasn't even given the slightest chance to struggle or escape. The acolyte clears his throat and shouts at a half-open window located at the upper floor of the castle.
The one who stands before you is the slayer of the eternal night, the night of refulgence. The pilgrimage ceremony's shepherd, the ruler of fate, the shining beacon of hope to Philos' countless survivors. And she will be your nemesis until you die. Our prayers have summoned the Chosen One.
Did he come up with those titles in the time it took to get here? The black window frame slightly stirs, and a dagger with a cold gleam is thrown down.
My castle is too small for your ilk. Only your Chosen One can come in to slay me. And there will be a sea of blood if you let me handle the selection process.
This Dark Knight Xavier is something else. In the blink of an eye, the righteously indignant revenants scatter in all directions. Even the enthusiastic acolyte runs away and disappears like smoke. A chill runs down my spine, and as I look up, the figure near the window meets my gaze.
I see they've made their choice.
Resigned, I sigh inwardly and pick up the dagger. In the vast empty hall with a tiled floor, only the sound of footsteps echoes. The candle's flames sway from wrought iron chandeliers. Light and shadow interweave like spiderwebs across the cold stone walls. It's been a long time. I stop at the foot of the throne and I look up at him.
You bear all their hopes and dreams, and their very faith rests upon your shoulders. How does it feel?
It's not great, but I'm not here to duel you to death. I know what I want for that silver coin. I step forward and meet his gaze. I try my best to appear confident. Your observations are correct. These revenants are in a cage made from their own obsessions. I can't save them, and I don't intend to try, since I have no interest in being the chosen one. Returning to Philos is my best choice. Once I'm there, I can recover my name, my memories, and myself. Xavier, I need you to help me return to Philos.
Is Philos important to you?
Of course. It's my homeland and the only place I can remember. If the Revenants strongly believe they can return, then perhaps a method exists. I'm no different from them if I can't remember anything.
Let's assume this Philos you desperately wish to return to no longer exists. What then?
Is he reminding me, or is he trying to make me give up?
You have my permission to stay here. Though, we need a relationship that binds us since we'll be together for a long time.
A relationship? Okay. I agree. As soon as he lets his guard down, I quickly agreed and scrambled in my mind for a role that could connect me to the king. Minister, attendant, knight, or loyal subject. In any case, I'll need time before I can give you a satisfactory answer. That figure, surrounded by countless blades on the throne behind him, simply let out a faint laugh. Are the swords on your throne truly mementos from assassins? It really is an iron throne, isn't it? It's made from, like, swords.
Do you want to leave one yourself?
This is very Game of Thrones coded. Our conversation hits a wall. I clench my fist before turning away with a smile. I just pretend I didn't hear him. By the way, can I have a room that has access to fresh air?
I'll allow it.
After I entered the castle, the underground gambling den began taking bets on how the Chosen One would die. Getting thrown into a forest with evil phantoms only to be devoured, sinking to the bottom of the cinders, or dying because of his massive blade. These 3 deaths are ranked with different odds, but they're at the top of the list. No one believes the Mad King will let me live. If the Chosen One dies, then it means they weren't the real one. So they'll wait for another. However, if the Chosen One survives and escapes from their enemy, that means
Our salvation is at hand.
the revenants from the land of exiles cheer. Their dreadful suffering will finally come to an end. They sing their praises for days, and even though I chose the castle's highest room, their voices still penetrate the wall. Yeah. But ever since I escaped the monastery, the arduous journey of poor sleep and travel without proper rest has left me exhausted. Now that I have shelter, exhaustion washes over me like a tidal wave. Revenants don't need to eat, yet I'm forced to endure this hunger. That night, I carried a lit candle and slowly make my way down the winding stone staircase to reach the kitchen. He rarely eats. What a frightening person. That's not the Xavier I know. The Xavier I know is a foodie. I conduct a thorough search, only to find roots and mushrooms.
What are you doing?
Don't you need to sleep?
I heard music, so I decided to investigate. What instrument is that? The sound is unique.
It's the wailing of a hungry ghost. "50 minutes later, he brings over a bowl of mushroom soup. It's brightly colored.
This is all I have.
It's alright. I'm not a picky eater. Just going to adjust my chair. Yeah. My chair. There we go. There you go. The taste is rather strange, but I've been starving for several days. It's nothing short of a rare delicacy. Once I swallow a spoonful, my stomach begins to churn violently, and the entire world seems to spin. Bizarre otherworldly visions appear before my eyes. Revenants dance in the air, and Xavier's black cloak suddenly transforms into a giant floating blanket. In this dream, I saw Philos again. It was far away from me, yet it was still beautiful. Walls of brilliant snow white surrounded the city. Towers loomed in clusters, their vibrant flag fluttering. The streets gleamed with a soft radiance. A procession of silvery white knights slowly navigates through the streets covered in flowers. They head to the ancient royal capital. The knight who's leading them is surrounded by people. Impossible to see his face clearly. He carries a certain air. Although he has returned from his journey, his presence is strangely familiar.
All of you can go on ahead. I'll join you once I've seen her.
The sun, moon, and stars revolve as he turns around. My visions blur and the white city walls transform into a clock tower bathed in the sunset's glow. He turns around and sees me and smiles. Before I can recognize him, a flock of pigeons flies past us. Their flapping wings obscure his eyes.
I thought you'd never see me again.
I open my eyes and I feel like I was in a very long dream. I see the hem of a black garment as it casts a graceful arc under the candlelight. That man is looking at me. It's as if he stepped out of my dream.
I have an antidote.
In his hands, he's holding a bowl of medicine that gives off a faintly bitter scent. Although I've returned to my senses, I'm at a loss of words.
I already tasted it.
Misinterpreting my thoughts, he speaks in a calm tone. I hesitate before reaching out to grab the hem of his clothes. I squeeze it a few times.
No. No, I'm not a hallucination that appeared because you were poisoned.
I was poisoned? From the soup you gave me, Xavier? He sits down at the edge of the bed, his elegant long fingers supporting the back of my neck as he brings the bowl of medicine to my lips. His pose is unmistakably intimate, yet his expression remains unchanged. His eyelashes aren't even raised once. I hear a clamor. Did something happen?
It's war.
There's a war happening here? In a place like this?
Yes. Some of the Revenants harbor obsessions from their past, waging war relentlessly. They never really die, and they don't stop.
They were once your subjects, Your Majesty. Why do you make it sound like it has nothing to do with you?
Listen. The loudest voices belong to those trying to find a way to rescue you, the Chosen One. If you die here, I'm afraid my moments of peace will significantly decrease for the next month.
The light flickers on his face as he picks up the bowl again.
Open your mouth.
The slightly bitter liquid spreads across my tongue. He gives me a sidelong glance, but he doesn't look away until he's confirmed I've finished every drop. During the days I've been bedridden, outlandish rumors have spread throughout the city. The Mad King has become the Chosen One's servant. The Chosen One has risked her life. The Chosen One has made a great sacrifice. They've misunderstood my actions from when I picked up a dagger and stormed into the castle. The Revenants are so moved by this supposed heroism that they gather at the riverside below the castle every night to sing their praises. When he gets annoyed by their wailing cacophony, he occasionally heads out with his sword in hand. He returns quickly, and their voices disappear. I'm unsure of what happened outside. However, the shouting isn't as frequent as it was before for the past few days. Since then, finding a way to return to Philos became my only goal. The Cinders is not a single river. It's connected to numerous tributaries of various sizes. They intertwine like a tree's root system and extend in all directions. Some of these tributaries flow into gloomy swamps or plunge into bottomless ravines. Others lead to lairs with revenant knights. Yet no matter where I look, I'm unable to locate the Tree of Life from Philosian myth. Day after day, I mark new territories on my map, only to cross out their names later. Exhausted, I climbed down the castle wall. The moon already reached its zenith. A figure is in the garden behind the castle. His hair reflects a faint luster under the moonlight. Is that Xavier? His interests have changed as of late. Instead of killing others, he grows flowers. Yet not even a fraction of light touches Cindersfell, and only lumen flora grow here. The flower he tends to is one I've seen before. What kind of flower is that? Curious, I walk up to him. He glances at me before he continues to water the plants.
One that shouldn't be able to survive here.
Then why are you growing it? He doesn't answer me, his fingertips touching the withered stem. I'm not sure if he didn't hear me or he doesn't want to respond. I know you have secrets. You don't need to tell me.
The fact that I have secrets shouldn't be a secret.
But this secret is related to a certain person, yes? I crouch down beside him and push aside a cluster of leaves. The wilted leaves' veins have taken on a yellowish hue, and the light blue flower bud droops. It looks so fragile that it might snap at any moment. People typically grow flowers to remind them of someone or give them as a gift. I doubt there's anyone you'd want to give flowers to in this city, though.
There is one person.
I wonder who that is. MC, don't be so dense. Who? He sets the watering can aside, turns to face me, and looks into my eyes.
We'll talk about it when the flower blooms.
I don't know if it will ever bloom. However, I do know that someone who promised to help me hasn't kept his word. He nods thoughtfully.
You created a map of the entire city. Then you walked along the tributaries large and small. You've done good deeds all the while. Tales related to your acts of kindness have spread throughout the land.
I was collecting information. Wait, how do you know about all this? You rarely leave the castle.
Would you say these methods of yours are effective?
I'm quiet, then I shake my head.
None of them are the correct method to return to Philos. What a pity.
He's always like this. He dismisses my words with a few of his own. Well, we'll set that aside for now. About that relationship you mentioned before, I've made up my mind. I'll be your girlfriend. Oh! Ooh, your knight, your companion, your queen. Let's be real here. Do you think he'll think I'm being like super forward if I say your queen? I'm just gonna go for it. My identity is known far and wide. I've also earned a bit of respect. Why don't you step back and let me be the actual ruler of Cindersfell? A queen, in other words. That way, you won't be bothered by outside affairs. It doesn't matter if you want to plant flowers, kill revenants, or live a quiet life. To put it simply, I want to be someone who's important to you. Aww. Perhaps worried about losing a stable source of food, I made a vow with the utmost sincerity. I don't know what his thoughts are, however.
What do you mean by important?
Let's say you're the only one that matters in my life.
Huh. So you want to protect me?
As if he couldn't hear me clearly, he crosses his arms and takes another step toward me. He's pretending he made a humble inquiry. I doubt you need my protection when you wield a sword like that. But when those revenants attack again, I'll be by your side. He actually laughed. I can hardly believe my eyes.
I can help you figure out a method. On the other hand, you need to find a way to make a flower bloom.
Are you sure it can still be saved? After agreeing to this surprisingly simple condition, I returned to my room. After spending these days together, Xavier seemed nothing like the Mad King those acolytes talked about. But the way he took me in and promised to help felt like just an excuse. An excuse to keep me here. Could it be because of that chosen one rumor? With no answer for now, I sighed, yet his smile from moments ago kept flashing through my mind. Something happened to my Uh-oh. Technical difficulties. Hold on. Oh, no. Happened? Okay. Here we go. Oops. What happened here? Um, with no answer for now, I sighed, yet his smile from moments ago kept flashing through my mind. The call of an owl resounds outside the balcony. A shadow swoops down, drops an envelope with a wax seal, then flies away. Huh? I return to my bed and open the envelope. On the letter, the stark, concise handwriting catches my eye. We would like to invite the chosen one to our sacred monastery so she can observe the selection process for the pilgrimage ceremony tomorrow. The Order of Babel looks forward to your answer. Each month, the monastery selects individuals to sail along the endless cinders. This is known as the pilgrimage ceremony. The revenants believe that by traveling along the cinders, one can find the tree of life that connects Cindersfell to Philos. Once more, I find myself at the monastery. Everything has been transformed. The dilapidated altar and the crumbling walls have been restored by the revenants. They're functional now. The acolytes' soft chanting echoes throughout the building. They carry ineffable reverence. I pass through the noisy entrance hall and enter the courtyard. It seems the bishop has been waiting for me. You've said the apocalypse is only a matter of time, and I'm the key to saving this world. Even though I know these revenants cannot truly perish, I still feel a strange sense of unease upon seeing the bishop again. If there's going to be a world-ending flood, you should be building dams. And if war is about to break out, you should be mobilizing armies. Those are more productive options than pinning your hopes on me, your so-called chosen one. Sensing the doubt in my words, he responds with a slight smile.
You think I've spouted lies to control the revenants, is that right?
Why do they believe in you?
When the options are a false hope or genuine despair, the former option is much more enticing. Your very existence is hope incarnate. You have the freedom to choose your path. We shall not force you to bear the responsibility of being the chosen one. We are incapable of forcing you, in fact. But the pilgrimage ceremony shall be carried out as planned. It will be held during the next full moon.
The smiles before removing the key around his neck, he places it in the palm of my hand.
Memories prove one's existence. Yet those who died here are trapped. They can never create new. If you cannot understand our faith, then I implore you to visit the underground library and see for yourself.
For several days, I immersed myself in the sea of books. Although I found no records related to the pilgrimage ceremony, I learned what happened to Philos during my absence. In the beginning, the energy needed to extend the planet's lifespan was almost depleted. Beasts called Wanderers grew increasingly violent and occupied most of the planet. And even an immortal planet sustained with energy would fail to escape the fate of decline. After 200 years of silence, a young woman with not a drop of royal blood ascended the throne. Under her rule, Philos reclaimed its former glory for a time. This period would later be called the Morn Era. However, historical records about her are scarce. They've only managed to preserve the magnificent spectacle of her coronation. Her life and fate were seemingly erased by an invisible hand. There's nothing but a blank void. The situation in Philos grew increasingly dire as time passed. The royal family and citizens were split to several factions. Their constant disputes rendered the monarchy on the brink of collapse. Natural disasters raged while the fires of war burned without end. The flames of chaos swept across the land and destroyed the last vestiges of the old world order. The last monarch of Philos was an undefeated arbiter of judgment, yet he was a tyrant who supposedly led the kingdom to its demise. The tyrant addicted to bloodshed, the embodiment of corruption, a fallen god who was devoured by the darkness. This must be Xavier. In every historical record about him, the fall of Philos is almost universally blamed on that king. Yet, as I carefully read through the list of crimes, I feel as if he can't be blamed for everything.
What part of the text made you stop reading?
Startled, I look up to find the tyrant himself. He's leaning down from the balcony above, and his gaze is fixated on me. Why are you here?
My only important person disappeared. Was I not supposed to look for you?
I notice the young acolyte who served as an attendant has dozed off in a corner. Book in hand, I walk over to him. All these meticulously detailed accusations and atrocities, they read more like fantasy than history. He neither confirms nor denies it. He jumps down from the balcony and picks up a book. I can only imagine what expressions the acolyte would have if they saw him walking around as though he owned the monastery. According to this book, the first 200 years of your reign were referred to as the Golden Epoch. It must have been wonderful. Why did...
Some matters should remain shrouded in the unknown.
I'm getting kind of confused on the timeline. Okay, so the stuff that happened in the Lightseeker myth. So yes, that happened before this. But who is this Xavier? I thought Xavier traveled in the Traceback 2 just before MC became Queen of Philos. So where is he coming from? Unless I'm missing something. Again, time travel, alternate universes, this stuff confuses me sometimes, so I'm either saying something really dumb and it's like, I don't know. I'm gonna need to read more into this and what other people said, because I'm kind of confused where this King Xavier is in the timeline. Unless this is really an alternate timeline. I don't know. I'm talking crazy. Okay, let's keep reading. If you don't want to tell me, then what's that? Then that's that. I'll assume all these myths about you are true since you won't say anything. I hesitate, but my curiosity eventually gets the best of me. Tightly holding the book, I move closer to him. So what happened to the royal capital of Philos?
It was destroyed.
What about the holy sword of the goddess?
The statue was shattered.
That's the one they used to meet in front of in Lightseeker. I love all the references to Lightseeker. Astria Knight Academy and the oaks behind the Star Hunters main building. I desperately recall places I can remember.
Burnt to cinders, along with all the birds in the forest.
The wind blows past us again. The windows rattle as the chandelier above us sways. The curled, yellowed pages flutter rapidly as the story rewinds to the first year of the Morn era. A single event was commemorated, the coronation of Philos' only queen. Let's change the subject then. Have you met this queen? Out of all the monarchs who ruled Philos, why is her story glossed over? Even her portrait is unrecognizable now. I touch the blurry portrait on the page. The ink has been smudged. He looks up, and his gaze lingers on that page. Then he turns away.
I don't remember. I will say that your impression of Philos is too idealistic.
But those revenants, said Philos.
They have no memories, and those without memories can only believe the stories told by others. Lend them your ear for too long, and you'll become just like them.
I know. I'm already someone without any memories. That's why I want to return to Philos and find them.
The revenants will be at their strongest during the full moon. We'll head back once you've seen enough.
Only now do I realize that he's here to take me back, even if he didn't say so directly. I see. You're worried about my safety. You said you needed to find me because of our agreement, but it's actually because of loneliness. You've lived in that castle for too long. The absurdity of our deal, his awkward expression of concern, perchance it's because he's been alone and bored for years.
I won't stop you from drawing your own conclusions.
Good. I'll do just that, especially when it involves matters that make you uncomfortable. You refuse to speak of them in either case. I narrow my eyes and lean toward him. I push the book he's holding to the side. The city of revenants has existed for over 100 years. Have you truly been alone all this time? The revenants exist in groups, and the acolytes gather together. They pray all day and all night in the monastery. I can hardly imagine what it must be like to live alone for hundreds of years, never aging, never dying. Aren't there any friendly revenants you can talk to?
You want me to become close friends with them?
Not all revenants are disagreeable.
You're already prepared then.
For what?
You'll be their only goddess. And once you're no longer needed, you'll be a sinner they hate.
A complex, indescribable emotion wells up inside me. I retort before I can stop myself. You always say they deserve to be trapped in their futile obsession for eternity. How are you and I any different from them? Aren't we also trapped? I'm obsessed with returning. What about you?
Obsessions are for the dead. I have none.
He turns, his profile etched in moonlight, yet his features are obscured in the shadows. I can't help but feel like nothing matters to him. Whether time passes or stops, whether the flower he tends to blooms or not, he's just waiting for what, I'm not sure. An inexplicable sense of frustration and loss bubbles inside me. Never mind. Don't leave just yet. I found these books for you. He furrows his brow slightly. Still, he turns and takes the books.
Philosian Guide, Caring for Flowers, and How to Identify Edible Mushrooms.
Haven't we read these books in something else in the current timeline we're in the game? You sound very, or like, wasn't the mushroom book mentioned in the spring banner? Right? I'm not sure if flowers can bloom without light, but watering them 3 times a day will definitely kill them. My lips are getting dry. Just gonna put a little bit. Oops. Following the book's instructions and using the withered plants as fertilizer, the unnamed blue flower finally shows signs of vitality. It's grown taller since yesterday, and its leaves unfurl with a hale luster. Days pass. Before I know it, it's time for the pilgrimage ceremony. Outside the city walls and along the riverside, over 100 tents have been set up. It's to accommodate the thousands of revenants who are here to witness the ceremony. After praying at the monastery, the pilgrims and the acolytes ascend along the ridge. They carry blessed lumen flora. Their processions cover a long distance, singing hymns to praise Philos. They walk with carefree steps and carry lamps throughout the night. The lights in their hand form another river. They flow through the dark forests and across the swamp.
Why do I...
We have our faith.
What?
Why do I feel happy and sad?
We have our faith.
But faith is fragile. It's like a flower or an egg. One careless moment is all it takes to break it.
What's an egg? I can't remember anymore. But it doesn't matter. We'll be returning to Philos.
Moonlight flickers across the mountain ridge as a gentle breeze passes. Dazzling silver robes sway back and forth.
The Chosen One is attending the ceremony. My lady, why did you bring the Mad King with you? Trying to reform him must be a tiring endeavor, no?
I'm unaware of the new rumors that are circulating in the city. I respond with a sheepish smile and lower my voice. Rest assured, he has renounced his old ways of thanks to my guidance and spiritual cleansing. The young revenant's expression becomes one of astonishment and admiration. I gently tug Xavier's sleeve. He glances at me and chooses not to expose my lie.
That's wonderful. May Philos prosper under eternity's divine gaze.
Why do revenants always say weird things? Ready to depart, I pull on Xavier's sleeve, yet he opens his mouth.
What if your eternity's foundation involves sacrificing others?
Nonsense! Philos is the embodiment of eternity, and everyone possesses an immortal soul. Even if some are sacrificed, they're necessary and justified. How can we fight against the emptiness of time without immortality? How can we fight against the emptiness of time without immortality? How can we explore the universe?
He does belong to Philos, then. Why did you and the others die?
Yeah.
Unable to refute his argument and intimidated by his sword, the young revenant stomps her foot and storms off. Most of the tents set up along the river are statues of Philos' royal family, and are statues of Philos' royal family from throughout the ages. They're near the witnesses who are attending the ceremony. These royal statues are crooked and misshapen. Their features indistinct. Maybe it's because most revenants have a poor memory. This one is surprisingly lifelike. Its face is too fierce for my liking, however. I approach it and examine the small wooden figurine placed in the back. For some reason, it has a wooden stake in its chest. The last king of Philos, the man responsible for Philos' downfall. An indescribable emotion stirs. I pull out the wooden stake and place the figurine in the brightest, most prominent position at the center of the statue's base. I walk a bit further, and more revenants offer me flowers. Despite my attempts to refuse them, I eventually accept each one.
Can you even carry all of these flowers?
He furrows his brow, but still takes the heavy bundles from me. More revenants gather by the riverside. Their singing is so loud that they almost drown out other sounds. Worried we might get separated, he frees one hand to hold mine as we slowly make our way through the crowd. The last king of Philos and the man responsible for Philos' downfall. That beloved king who was eventually despised by all. That was you, yes? We spent so much time together. His identity is no longer a secret to me. I'm more curious about that queen's story. I want to know what she did. There must be a reason for why everyone is reluctant to speak about her fate.
What do you think happened to her?
He looks at me. Stories about salvation and sacrifice follow the same pattern. Some perish, others are saved, some continue living, and others are forgotten. I suppose she didn't accomplish anything. That's why she was forgotten. Pilgrims pass us as they happily sing hymns about their yearning for light. Xavier watches the group toward the riverside. He suddenly speaks to me.
In the beginning, her statues decorated every street. Some were dissatisfied with her conduct, but most adored her. They believed she would be the chosen one who'd lead Philos to its rebirth. She was the key Philos needed to obtain true eternity.
And then?
Are you asking what happened? She disappeared. No one knew where she went.
She disappeared?
For 100 years, the people thought she abandoned them. For the 100 years after that, the people slowly forgot about her. Another 100 years passed. Her portraits were burned, and her statues were destroyed. They became the stones that paved the royal capital's plaza. After the king ascended the throne, normalcy returned. Yet nothing could change this planet's fate.
I'm getting more confused now. Okay. So they're talking about Queen MC. Okay, I'm getting so confused on where Xavier is in all this timeline. So the king, him, rose to the throne after Queen MC died. Wait, after she disappeared or something. Okay, I really am gonna need to see like a full breakdown of events because I'm getting so confused. Anyways, his tone is aloof yet tinged with scorn.
Her sacrifice was nothing more than an insignificant grain in the sands of time.
You're suggesting I shouldn't let my compassion push me into becoming the chosen one? I don't want to be that kind of person, but I don't plan on saving anyone either. What? You don't think I'm being do you think I'm being selfish? They're already dead. Even if someone could change everything, that person wouldn't be me.
You were destined to fail as the chosen one the moment you gave them a modicum of pity.
Why do I feel as if you don't have faith in me? As we talk, several small revenants who recognize me hurriedly approach. Holding the lumen flower they picked out, they ask me to help them weave flower crowns. Xavier has an expression that shows he expected this to happen. I sigh and push away the revenants. 1 crown each, form a line. When I look up again, Xavier's already walking away from the lights and chatter. The night wind rustles through the grass as his figure quickly vanishes into the darkness. He always arrives without a sound and leaves in the same manner. His thoughts are impossible to predict. The ferryman and the young king stand by the riverside. They stare at the lights and the singing revenants that the night fog has almost consumed.
You keep her close. Are you afraid she'll recognize you? Or are you afraid she won't?
The ferryman knows something.
She won't remember.
It won't be long until the apocalypse arrives. After this pilgrimage ceremony, the river might grow again. And it might reach the Tree of Life. Do you want to be a witness to that?
Should they find a method to return, they'll see Philos is no longer the place they imagine it to be.
As the hymn reaches its climax, the boat carrying the pilgrims reaches the center of the river. Amidst solitude and stillness, he turns to look at the elderly man behind him.
Isn't it peaceful when there's no one to ferry?
For us who desperately clung to life until the very end, being trapped here is a punishment.
Yet sinners should atone for those who died unjustly. Am I mistaken?
And her? What will you do when she can't continue? At long last, there is something beyond your expectations.
When the time comes, I'll have already made my preparations.
Seeing that he doesn't want to discuss it any further, the ferryman sighs and says nothing.
Don't you owe me 6 fares now, boy?
Your memory is getting worse. It's 7.
Centuries have passed. Yet I've never seen anyone pay your fare except for her. Where to? I won't ask for a coin this time.
His boots tread across the moss dampened with night dew. He heads toward a bustling area with lights and voices.
Nowhere. I'm waiting for someone.
The revenants say this grand ceremony is based on a ritual conducted in the past. It was how the royal family bid farewell to knights before they were sent to battle. I wonder if anyone gave Xavier flowers when he departed as a knight. I rubbed my sore wrists as I finished weaving the last flower crown. It's for him.
He was scary. When he passed by my tent and saw me making wooden carvings, he threatened me into making one for him.
My ears perked up when he's mentioned. I walked toward the tent surrounded by the revenants. What did he ask you to carve?
A small wooden figurine of the Chosen One. It's you, my lady.
Huh?
Did he pay for it?
He only gave me a gemstone from one of his buttons. Was he trying to flaunt his wealth? Unbelievable. He's only pretending to obey you. He'll spend every night cursing you with that wooden figurine.
That's an exaggeration, don't you think? Strange yet restless emotions stir in my heart. I look around, but I can't see him anywhere. Songs drift from the rustling forest in the distance. As the moon rises to its apex, the pilgrimage ceremony reaches its climax. The chosen pilgrims drift downstream in small boats. They sail amidst the revenants' cheers and songs. The revenants remove floral wreaths from their wrists and toss them skyward. There's another shower of light that rains down. Did he leave me behind and return already? For some reason, this scene feels strangely familiar. It's as if there was an even more magnificent celebration in my memory. What's happening to me? Pain suddenly pulsates through my heart. The violent tremors pound against my eardrums as an unbearable force spreads from my chest to my entire body. Everything before my eyes blurs like a paint soaked on paper.
Your Highness? Your Highness! Tomorrow is your coronation ceremony. Starting tomorrow, you'll be the Queen of Philos.
Before my eyes is not Cindersfell, but a magnificent grand palace. It is as white as snow and radiant.
For your coronation, he asked for 20 carriages to be filled with fresh flowers. I'm telling you this in secret, so you didn't hear it from me.
Jeremiah!
The children he hired lined the streets. They cheered and scattered flowers. Some stood along the roadside, others on rooftops. In the end, the entire square turned into a sea of flowers. Did you see it?
Is this my memory? Are they talking to me? The wild winds sweep through the area and toss aside the already weightless bodies of the revenants. They tightly hold their hoods as they gather around me.
It's the chosen
one!
My
lady!
lady!
My lady!
Excited, expectant gazes approach me. I try to step back, but these individuals move closer. What did you just call me?
The chosen one! You shall save us, my lady!
The voices assault me from all directions as countless hands grab at my dress, their expressions revealing an urgent zealotry.
Do you remember what Philos was like?
You met the pilgrims in Philos. Did they find happiness? I heard that...
What are they talking about?
Help me! Oh, great Xavier! Help me!
What's Philos? Pilgrims? Who am I? Why can't I remember anything? My memories have been burned to a crisp. My mind is a blank slate, and I feel a strangeness unlike anything I've ever known.
Philos is about to meet its end. We beseech you, your majesty. As the ruler of Philos, you must ensure this planet survives. The ether core within your heart can save Philos from destruction.
The Chosen One has exerted herself during the pilgrimage ceremony. Leave her be.
The crowd parts. When I raise my head, I see an elderly man in white robes standing before me. I don't understand why he's smiling. Wary, I step back.
Take her away.
After he turns and walks elsewhere, a young acolyte immediately runs toward me.
My lady, please return to the monastery with me. Wait! Please don't wander off!
I kneel on the moonlit grass and stare at my reflection in the river. The faces reflected in the water is unfamiliar. The clothes I'm wearing are unfamiliar. Even the crown on my head is unfamiliar. Within the rippling, blurry reflection, numerous shadows stare back at me.
Come, become one of us.
Shadowy hands reach up from the water. They pull and tug at my clothes.
Become nourishment, just like us.
What is going on? My thoughts, too, feel as though they're being pulled by countless decaying hands. I'm slowly sinking into a whirlpool.
Why are you here by yourself?
Lightseeker! A white figure appears in the depths of the forest. In spite of the darkness, he's cloaked in a soft light. As soon as he raises his head, I freeze. Several seconds pass before I feel the faint flutter in my throat.
Why are you just staring at me?
Xavier? My memories begin to stir once the first syllable of his name leaves my lips. They slowly flood my mind. This long-lost familiarity seems to transcend time and space. It compels me to run to him and hold him close. But an icy hand from the riverbed tightens its grip. I'm dragged into a bottomless darkness. What happened? A group of pilgrims disperse. Only the Limiflora lie scattered on the ground.
Your Excellency, will we be able to return?
Worry not. The day when we are welcomed into the light shall arrive.
A raging gale churns the river's waters as dark clouds slowly obscure the moonlight along the horizon. In the fog, a boat carrying revenants is swept into a whirlpool. The vessel and its passengers are swallowed. They will never resurface. What just happened? The chorus of voices come and goes like the ebb and flow of the water. It's close before suddenly becoming distant as it gradually fades into the depths of a murky consciousness. When I wake up again, I find myself lying by the riverside. My sleeves are soaked with the cold water. Was I unable to remember anything before? As an outsider, my memories slowly fade just like the revenants. Wait, Xavier. I freeze before I sit up and look around frantically. Xavier? No one answers. I stand and start my search. I soon spot a familiar figure in a nearby field of flowers. Xavier! I steady my breathing and stand in front of him. It seems as though he hasn't noticed me. Seemingly in a deep slumber, he lies quietly amongst the flowers. Thin wisps of black mist are wrapped around his body. It's as if the resentment of the countless revenants is corroding him. His breathing is stable. His chest rises and falls with every breath. He's not injured. Is he actually sleeping? A weight is lifted from my chest. I crouch down beside him and poke the back of his hand. No response. He'd always been a light sleeper. He'd sensed my presence as soon as I took a step in his direction before. But he seems to have fallen to a defenseless slumber this time. I can't help but lean toward him, to the point where I only need to look down to see his long, soft eyelashes. You're always stern when you're awake, but admit you look cute when you're sleeping. Doesn't he? He's the cutest. The person you like, the one you want to give flowers to. Wouldn't she want to see you smile? I touch the corner of his mouth. Imagine what he might look like with a grin. Without realizing it, I start smiling. Did you say my name, or was I imagining it? Xavier, who exactly are you? Deciding to set aside these unanswerable questions, I lie down beside him and touch his hair. The strands are entwined around my fingers, and I begin tying knots one by one for him. Next time you give me a cold look, I'll just think of how you're letting me mess with you right now. As if hearing my words, his brows furrow slightly. Keep sleeping if you're tired. He suddenly opens his eyes. I loosen my grip, and the half-braided strands of hair escape from my hands. Our gazes meet in the darkness. He doesn't speak, instead opting to stare at me for a long, long time. It lasts for so long that questions appear in my mind. Is he trying to confirm something, or is he waiting for something?
You're here. I had an incredibly long dream. I followed my teacher into battle, and then I journeyed through the starry sea. When I returned, you were gone.
His voice is soft and hoarse. It still carries traces of that dreamlike days.
So much happened during those 300 years in your absence. I don't even know where to begin.
Oh my god.
I doubt you want to hear those boring details. Do you remember our little planet? I told you about it before.
Stop. Stop. Don't you be talking about Uludu right now.
The wavy leaf sea lavenders grow better there. I brought back some seeds and hoped I could grow them for you.
So the name of that flower is wavy leaf sea lavender? My hands tremble, and I feel a sharp pain. The brooch on his chest has pricked my fingers tip.
Back then, it was just like this. I thought my intentions were clear. Why didn't you understand them? Maybe I'm the one who's foolish. I should have been more direct from the beginning.
He gently holds my finger and carefully wipes away the drop of blood.
When we last saw each other, you said you had feelings for someone.
Oh, okay, so if I remember correctly, in Lightseeker... You know what? I'm not even going to try to tackle the timeline here. I'm just going to read it. Because I feel like I'm going to be saying something stupid. Or incorrect. But he was saying... Okay. Because there was a time... Because he left a couple different times in Lightseeker. He came... I'm so confused with the timing of this. Never mind. Okay. I'm done. I'm done trying to unravel this. I can't do it. I need somebody smarter than me to lay it out. To lay it out for me, because I don't think I can unravel this all by myself. Anyways.
It doesn't matter to me yet. Why wasn't that person by your side when you were in danger?
The person she had feelings for was you, stupid.
Forget him.
His persistent gaze stays on me for a long time. I can only nod in response. I don't like him anymore. What do you mean? It was always him, girl. Like, what are you talking about? But I like you. Is that alright? Those words hang in the air. Everything suddenly falls silent. Even the wind stops blowing. The night is still, and the flower field is silent. Only distant waters of the river lapse against the shore. Neither of us moves, and I'm trying to think of the words that could break the tension. Then he shifts closer to me. His cool fingertips press against my jawline, and our breaths intertwine. I attempt to create some distance between us.
What's wrong? Am I not allowed to kiss you here?
Stop. You're allowed to kiss anywhere you want, Xavier. He lowers his head, his expression indiscernible. All I can feel is his cold breath against my eyelashes.
Of course. Why would you want to see me like this?
The hand at my nape suddenly tightens its grip. He lowers his head again. Instead of retreating, he stubbornly kisses me. It feels like I'm trapped in a thick, vicious dream. I'm unable to wake up and unwilling to try. The warmth and pressure from his hand seeps into my skin. They carry an affection that borders on obsession.
This is my dream. I'm free to do as I please.
Oh my gosh.
You're a figment of my imagination, aren't you?
You're like hard making out right now. Oh my gosh. As our lips touch, I catch a glimpse of the lumen floor gently swaying. The wind has begun to stir again. Wow. The ending of that chapter was something. Wow. The ceremony ended, and those pilgrims were never seen again. The elders in the monastery declared the ritual as a success. It was an auspicious sign since the Chosen One appeared. The revenants celebrated every night. The city was filled with statues of the Chosen One in all sizes overnight. There was also the tree bark touched by the Chosen One, the tiles the Chosen One stepped on, even the stone the Chosen One supposedly hit her head on after tripping over a branch during her arrival. They were all treated as sacred gifts. The revenants competed with one another to preserve these treasures.
Your baubles are nothing. My hand was touched by the Chosen One herself.
Upon hearing this, revenants surrounded him and let out gasps of envious admiration.
You have been blessed. Excellent! We'll chop off your hand and mount it on the city wall, so every passerby can shake it. You want to cut off the hand that the Chosen One touched? Don't be afraid. We're incapable of feeling pain. Or is your heart not sincere enough? I shall accept any sacrifice if it means I can be a pilgrim.
After I attended the pilgrimage ceremony, I realized that as an outsider, my memories will slowly fade away too. If I can't return to Philos, I'll eventually be just like those revenants. Yet, where did those pilgrims go? Acolytes from the Order of the Babel always avoid the question. Does the end of the river truly lead to the tree of life that's mentioned in the prophecy?
Your solution is to follow in their footsteps. You'll see where the supposed sacred path of pilgrimage takes you.
So are we supposed to just gloss over that hard makeout you guys just had? We're not gonna mention that? No? Yes? They say the river doesn't end. If that's the case, then what happened to those pilgrims? They didn't die, but they didn't live either. No one has seen them since. The river silently flows as our ferry glides across the mirror like black water. A thin mist surrounds us. Come to think of it, if we're measuring how close someone is to the Chosen One, you should have been chosen for the ceremony.
I'm honored.
You ate meals cooked by the Chosen One, held the Chosen One's hands, and even embraced the Chosen One. And made out with the Chosen One. And... These eyes, this nose. Which one? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, coulda. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. This nose. This nose have been touched by the Chosen One. He wrinkles his nose and catches my hand.
Breathing the same air as you is the greatest honor.
These lips have also kissed. Remembering what happened that day, I swallow my words.
You don't want to continue?
You actually don't remember anything. But he doesn't remember that? Was he like... Oh, he was just like in a daze or something? He responds with an expressionless look. Then he turns away and his voice is unexpectedly tinged with a hint of resentment.
You're the one who doesn't remember anything.
Not wanting to argue, I focus on what's more pressing at the moment. I need to figure out what happened to those revenants. If anything that crosses the waters of Cinder sinks, perhaps the path they sought is there.
How did you get this boat? Or rather, how did you convince someone who doesn't accept credit to lend you this boat?
It's a long story. After boarding the ferry numerous times, I gradually become acquainted with the ferryman of the Cinders. Occasionally, when he wanted to rest uninterrupted, I would volunteer to take over. He didn't agree to it at first, and always refused with cold expression, but as time passed, he eventually let me handle it. When I encountered revenants who wanted to cross the river despite lacking coins, I didn't turn them away. I asked them to tell stories as a form of payment. When he discovered this, he always turned a blind eye. As for his background and why he serves as a ferryman for this river, I've asked him out of curiosity before, but he always refuses to talk about it. You know each other?
You can say we're old acquaintances.
It sounds like they're old acquaintances from Philos. As we gradually sail away from the city, we can see the desolate forest to the west is burning. Acrid gray smoke rises skyward. More revenant knights have been gathering at the edge of the forest, and the strife is becoming more and more prevalent. Consumed by resentment, we fight each other with the hatred from when they were alive. Their screams echo amongst the dead branches and fallen leaves. As the bishop foretold, signs of the apocalypse are once again emerging from the ruined city walls.
I was unaware you were skilled at ferrying.
After the bow hits a submerged shoal and spins around several times, he can't bear to watch anymore. He takes the oar from my hands. I lose track of time. Black clouds gradually cover the full moon, and the scenery around us grows increasingly dark and desolate. Something's not right. The boat creaks, and the river's current becomes turbulent. Startled, ravens fly in all directions. A chill creeps up from behind the water's surfaces and latches onto my skin. After passing through a dense fog, the river widens. It's as if we arrived at a boundless sea. Where are we? The water thrashed violently like an untamed beast. The looming threat of danger is palpable.
I don't want this. I don't want to be trapped here. Join me. Become part of these dead waters.
These voices, where are they coming from?
Wait, don't fall in.
Under the water's surface, countless invisible hands seem to reach up. Hatred pushes them to maliciously toss our boat back and forth. I grip the edge of the boat with all strength, all strength I can muster. Pain pulsates through my chest without warning. My vision blurs. It's as though invisible hands are squeezing my heart. The inky black water transforms into countless veins. I could almost believe streams of water energy were flowing downward. I feel awful. It's like my strength is being drained away.
Watch out.
The increasingly violent currents strike our boat. The river's surface discards its serenity and transforms into a massive whirlpool. At that moment, I'm like a seed. I'm plunged into darkness unknown to all. When I open my eyes again, I find myself curled up in a warm embrace. Our capsized wooden boat somehow glides smoothly along the riverbed. Mist reminiscent of a veil accompanies us. I can hear the rapids and foam washing over sharp reefs, but I can't see the dangerous shallows. On the other side of the river, Cindersfell's shores fade from view, and despite being underwater, I can feel the moist air. The current gradually calms. Our boat continues to move along the dark underwater passage for a time before finally hitting a shallow bank. Xavier steps onto the shore first. He turns and helps me stand.
Careful now. If you fall in, you won't be able to float back up.
Despite the fact the water here barely reaches my ankles, the cave before us seems endless. Strange, tiny particles of light float in the air. Warm and bright, they feel oddly familiar. I can almost believe this energy was once part of me. A profound realization washes over me. Perhaps this is a sacred path of pilgrimage, the road that returns to Philos. The archives at the Order of Babel's monastery had records of a certain Philosian legend. It spoke of a mysterious cave that was connected to the center of the planet. Is this the place where they used to sacrifice her? Or, I don't know. Never mind. Could this be the cave that connects Philos and Cindersfell?
You have quite the imagination.
The sound of flowing water gradually fades behind us as we venture deeper. The further we go, the more scenery unfolds before us. Look at these light particles. They keep increasing in number and brightness. Perchance the pilgrims who disappeared found themselves in this place. As the words leave my lips, an enormous, monstrous skeleton appears. Bodies lie on the shore. They're still frozen in the position they were in their final moments. These monsters.
They're wanderers. These creatures once roamed Philos before it was destroyed.
The gleam of a blade flashes, and the bone-white remains dissolve into energy particles before dissipating.
They were devoured by those monsters before they could escape.
You know something, yet you're unwilling to share it. He remains silent before turning away. His cloak billows out behind him.
If we could actually return to Philos, what will you do? Aside from finding your name.
I haven't thought about it yet. Is there anything you'd like me to do for you? Should I meet with someone on your behalf?
No.
The path splits in two, and for some reason I can sense the energy emanating from deep within the cave. I take his hand and I keep walking. We need to discuss a certain matter. When I return to Philos and rebuild it, I promise to fairly evaluate your merits and shortcomings. I'll start with revising the historical texts. The historians abandoned their duties and wrote pure fantasies.
And then?
I'll traverse the starry sea. I'll ascend the throne. Here's one. I'll traverse the starry sea and visit every place the traveling bards sing of in their songs. I'll be like these specks of light. They emit a faint glow, yet they can drift to distant places.
That sounds wonderful.
If the worst happens, as in I can't find anyone who remembers me and I'm unable to stay in Philos, staying with you would be nice. I keep those words to myself as I look at him.
It's all right. The starry cosmos has many places you could visit. Take, for example, a beautiful little planet.
I hear a strange clicking beneath our feet. We look down at the same time. There's a deathly pale wrist encased in crystals. Akin to veins, dark red vines are wrapped around a ribcage. The delicate roots of eerie flowers penetrate hollow eye sockets. That's...
Look over there.
In the distance, a twisted tree looms. It isn't a real tree, but one formed by countless crystallized skeletons. They're stacked and entangled with one another. Their twisted forms are similar, for they step on those beneath them in a futile attempt to reach for something on the high. Thin vines ensnare the crystallized remains. Together, they form a thick, trunk-like structure that's deeply embedded in the planet. That's... 1,000 horrified thoughts flood my mind. This is the tree of life. It's a tree made from corpses. I've never seen these people before, yet I recognize their clothing as garments that belong to Philos. Each and every one of their expressions are filled with despair and terror. They're like souls in the depths of hell who are seeking salvation. Were these Philosians trapped here? Why?
Philos is an artificial planet.
He suddenly speaks.
Their pretense of eternity depends on an energy source called a protocore.
Protocore? Familiarity washes over me again, and for some reason a sadness surfaces.
The planet found itself on the verge of collapse after its energy was depleted. However, the most scholarly elder in the royal capital had a solution. The royal family discovered an uninhabited area with a chaotic protofield in Starfall Forest. It was located in the southern region of the planet. Deep within that forest is a cave. It leads directly to the heart of the planet. So long as humans were thrown into that cave, the planet's energy would never be depleted. Like the people who thought this system was justified, the planet possessed an insatiable greed.
He looks at those crystals that can no longer be called human.
They're the victims who were used as fuel.
Did anyone escape and live to tell the tale? I look at Xavier, but I already know the answer in my heart.
No.
He starts walking again, moving past the tree as he continues forward.
Those who defied orders and went to investigate disappeared after entering the cave.
The number of sacrifices required inevitably increased. No one would willingly sacrifice themselves for the planet unless there was a good reason.
Thus, the royal family came up with a plan to cover up their crimes. They no longer kept the sacrifice a secret. They used honor to disguise it and called it a pilgrimage. To maintain a false eternity, they needed to weave lies one after another. Every member of the royal family had to bear the burden of perpetuating these lies.
You were the one who ended it?
Ironically, the one who did that wasn't even remembered.
Although our surroundings are quiet, I can almost hear everyone's desperate cries for help as they face death.
Now you know the truth. Do you still consider Philos your homeland?
The chosen one! My lady!
My footsteps falter. I look down and I'm greeted by eyes filled with absolute terror. That outfit. He's a pilgrim from that day. Tiny crystals seemingly alive spread from the youth's palm.
The pilgrimage is a lie. It will never lead us to Philos, or a source of nourishment for the cinders. The waters, they grow without end. Only then will it reveal the true path. You are the last one it needs, my lady. You can lead us back to Philos, yes, my lady?
He kneels before us and presses his forehead to the ground.
Why won't you save us? You traitor!
Watch out!
Xavier wraps his arms around my waist and pulls me back. His sword draws a black and golden arc. It brushes forth and slices the figure's wrist. The pilgrim who transformed into a wanderer falls to his knees. He prostrates towards the tree as if he's worshipping it. The crisis had passed, and the lie behind the pilgrimage was exposed. Yet I know that we can never return to Philos. After we return, we seemingly have an unspoken agreement to not discuss the path of pilgrimage. All those memories of Philos and nothing more than obsession about past illusions. Was I one of those sacrifices? And if I was necessary, then no one remembered me. Yet, after learning all this, I surprisingly find myself at ease.
Have you thought about your...
Sorry, I think I was having a little technical difficulty. Anyways, start here. The small boat sways gently on the river's surface. For some reason, tonight's moonlight seems especially bright.
Here.
He grabs my wrist and places a small object in my hand. Is this a gift?
Yes. It's a special protocore. A trinket from Philos. It may be a fragment, but you'll find a use for it.
Are you sure it's not a small stone or pebble? You're trying to make me feel better.
You can see it like that if you like.
Alright, This shiny pebble is mine now. Although I want his flowers more, this is the first gift he's given me. I've decided to accept the rock after mulling over it. I lie down on the bottom of the boat and recall a similar tranquility had accompanied us for our first boat ride. Back then, I accidentally touched his reflection and saw his past. I tried again at a later date, but I failed. An impulse to try again takes a hold of me. The moonrise light pierces the slender tree trunks and illuminates his reflection on the water's surface. When he isn't looking, I touch his reflection on the river. This time I saw him standing with his back to me, surrounded by an endless sea of flowers. As darkness gradually covers the land and stars fill the sky, he places a cluster of light blue flowers before a tombstone.
This is a beautiful place, and I've always wanted to bring you here, but I never had the chance.
Lulu.
I couldn't find you, and I didn't know if you'd like the scenery here. I'm sorry.
The pain in Xavier's voice. His voice softens as his fingers slowly trace over the engraved text on the tombstone. So, the first queen of Philos, her name shines quietly like the stars, everlasting, it shall never fade. The name of long forgotten comes flooding back. The forgotten queen was me this entire time. So she died? And he saw her tomb? I'm still so confused. I've seemingly grasped a crucial thread as forgotten memories begin to surface. Xavier is the king who succeeded me after I disappeared. Wait, what? I thought... How is that possible? I thought he left he left on Traceback 2 after she became queen. Or did he go back somehow? And then he traveled again? I'm confused. I think I need to reread the myths and reread anecdotes. I feel like I'm missing something here. Like I don't know. The truth is right before my eyes. This place isn't so different from Philos, or rather, a place where humans exist are very similar to one another. If I had been in the heart of the planet for years, then what did Xavier experience? Why is he even here? Little by little, I pieced together the truth from the forgotten tombstones scattered across Cindersfell. The story continues. While I was gone, my knight traversed the starry sea. My knight put on that dust-covered crown. My knight became their king. It's the most magnificent coronation ceremony in the history of Philos. His decisions and achievements sent echoes throughout the cosmos, and during the test of time, they had spread far and wide. The people gathered in the square, bathed in the sun's brilliant radiance. They danced to the rhythm of the drums and wind instruments until midnight. Only when the radiant moon hung high, its light, making the city walls the color of bones, did he finally leave the courtyard. Still wearing the white coronation robes, the king removed his crown. Akin to a god's merciful gaze, moonlight poured through the dome and washed over him. Did he sleep well? What happened in his dream?
I miss you so much.
After that, my knight picked up his sword. Monsters and rebels fell one after another to his blade. A new world order was established. Following centuries of war and chaos, Philos was ushered in a dreamy golden age. They adored and praised him. The ballads spoke of his wisdom and brilliance. All knights swore their loyalty to him. He was given the title Sentinel of the Stars. Yet in the end, they stormed his castle and held swords to his throat. Knowledge was lost. The world order crumbled, and war raged endlessly. He sat on his throne as a prisoner. Alone, he bore the weight of his crown. And this was the downfall of Philos, and the story of his life. Horseshoes shatter the monastery gates for the 14th time, yet the acolytes still panic.
What have you done to the river?
The bishop dismisses everyone and closes the door, his ashen face displaying anger.
You've discovered all our secrets. Royal blood flows through our veins. You, of all people, should understand that the planet will perish once we lose the protocore. The people of Philos will be unable to achieve eternity. Whether it's in the Philos of a bygone era or this city, the answer is still the same. The waters of the cinders and the planet's core can open the gateway to Philos, so long as they're nourished, of course. Whether it's these revenants or our queen, they're all...
Hasn't your tongue done enough lapping?
You want to kill me?
The guilty must atone for their sins.
The tip of his sword is pressed against the bishop's throat. He steps back and looks up to meet a cold, stern gaze.
Have we truly sinned? You dare to claim the kings of Philos were free of sin? Those moronic subjects were asleep. They were obedient, and they wouldn't scream a thing. But you woke them up and told them there were no deities to look up to and no roads forward. Don't you deserve death? Open your eyes. The chance to save Philos is within our grasp, and yet you want to destroy it again.
The planet can die. Let it all return to naught. A world that can only survive through sacrifice should have never existed in the first place.
You can't bear to see her die again. That queen you failed to protect. Her heart nourishes those poor revenants in the river, and it's our most precious sacrifice to the heart of the planet. If we throw her into the cinders before the last full moon, we can return to Philos once more. So many have already been sacrificed. She's been sacrificed once before. What's wrong with sacrificing her again?
Are you for real, dude?
You were the crown prince of Philos. I'll let you be the king.
Your tired rhetoric never changes. This time, we'll find out if it's your call or mine.
You The planet needs nourishment if it is to survive. Both you and her are suitable for that role. If you want her to live, you know the price you must pay.
Moonlight bathes the forest in a silvery gray hue. Some windows in the distant city remain brightly lit. This is the first time he stopped to listen to the Revenant's song ever since his false world came into existence. If there is a God out there, please hear my wishes. May my death not be meaningless. Should our prayers be answered, we willingly surrender our freedom to a false fate. Night falls, and the Revenant's hymns tremble with the rustling leaves. Moonlight appears dimmer compared to before. In the garden, a single wavy leaf sea lavender remains exposed under the moon. A lot of time has passed, yet the flower still hasn't bloomed.
Yes.
Is it because there's no light? He nods.
It needs to be somewhere.
Oops. He thinks for a few seconds, and his voice is certain this time.
Shadowbind.
Oh, I missed that part. Is your horse truly nameless? And then the voice says, Shadowbind is his horse's name. Interesting.
I only thought of it now.
With a new name, Shadowbind tosses his head and neighs loudly. I try to stroke his mane. He nuzzles my palm this time.
After our first horseback ride, he disappeared because he was tired. Do you want him to take you on another ride along the riverside?
I accept his offer, and so we leave the castle. With Moonlight as our guide, Shadowbind brings us down the mountain. The castle and mountains disappear behind us. Wind traces through our hair, and dry branches sweep past our ears. We ride past burial grounds and abandoned cities. Fireflies sparkle between blades of grass, and the frost-white mountain paths wind beneath us under the moon. Shackles, boundaries, cities, and fate itself are but left behind in the rush of wind. We race into the night as it deepens, and charge toward the boundless horizon. We pull Shadowbind's reins as the moon rises. We sit side by side in a field of flowers near the riverside. I tear blades of grass into pieces and drop them into the water one by one. Some sink, and others are blown away by the wind. When he notices I've entangled the ends of his hair around a flower's stem, he doesn't get angry. He slowly untangles it instead. A moment later, he plucks a blade of grass and tickles my cheek with it as if to punish me. Time passes. He takes my wrist and puts a small bracelet woven with lumiflora on it. It's tight. Are you afraid I'll get lost?
Yes.
The mountain wind is cold. The stream's water and moonlight spreads out to create a silvery gray glow that rests on his shoulders. My eyes are half closed when I rest my head on his lap. It's so comfortable that I almost fall asleep. Who are you planning to give that flower to?
You.
I froze for a second. I hadn't told him my memories were coming back, but a thought started to form. Maybe Xavier had known who I was all along, but I didn't know why he kept it from me, or what he'd really been through after I left. The past was like those rusted swords hidden in the flowers left behind and forgotten. I remember the sword he once wielded was reminiscent of moonlight, just like him. Do you know how to use a certain kind of sword, Xavier?
Why do you ask?
I grabbed 2 rusty swords from the grass and tossed one to him. It's nothing. I realize we haven't even sparred once. Using identical swords to make our duel fair.
All right.
First move, second move.
Your strikes are too slow.
Yet I still managed to block your attack. 10th move, 20th move. These techniques are all too familiar. He extends his fingers, slides his hand down along my blade, and strikes my wrist. A tingling numbness shoots through my wrist, and I almost drop my sword. You!
Stay focused when you spar.
21st, 25th.
Who taught you that?
He's distracted. His sword spins through the air, and after being knocked away, I press the advantage and rush forward. I ram my shoulder into him. Grass scatters, and fireflies swirl into chaotic spirals of light as he stumbles. Unexpectedly, he falls onto a flower bed. The tip of my sword pierces the soil near his face. The duel ends with me as the victor. I suppose the prophecy was correct. Xavier, I truly am destined to defeat you. A deal is a deal. The city is now under my control. Instead of struggling, he calmly tilts his head to the side and places his palm over my sword hand.
I remember you saying you'd stand by my side. If that's the case, then our swords should be pointing in the same direction.
Well?
You still haven't told me who taught you that move.
Dissatisfied with my evasive answer, he brings that up again. I don't know. If you've never seen it before, then can I only guess it's unrelated to you? He raises his hand and his fingertip almost touches the blade. He turns his wrist. Before I can react, he flips our positions. Holding my wrist, he pins me down. Of course he pins her down. Xavier, our duel already ended.
You didn't say we should stop, so it wasn't over yet.
Instead of backing away, he leans in. His nose almost brushes against my face.
I taught you that move.
You know it. You said our swords should be pointing in the same direction.
I also said that soft-hearted individuals cannot become a ruler.
I should have gone all out.
Can I claim my prize now?
I push him away. I'm about to stand when a kiss suddenly lands on my forehead.
You'll hit me if I do that? I'll do it more often then. I won't fight back.
Excuse you? On the way back, he carried me on his back in silence, his figure seeming to hold up the entire night around us. He's willing to tell me stories about his past this time. So, how wonderful was this forgotten queen?
Very.
Maybe you're the only one who thinks so.
Many of Philos's myths and stories exist because of her. She issued an order that forbade anyone from entering that man-eating forest. She offended the entire Council of Elders.
Sacrificing herself is a simple matter. Bearing condemnation while walking into darkness is not. Perhaps the Mad King who's condemned by all is the person who can save Philos. Remembering these rumors I'd heard from those little revenants, I gently tapped on the shoulder. A book said he refused every marriage proposal sent his way. Is that true?
What do you think?
Holding back a smile, I run my fingers through his hair. I mess it up before slowly combing my fingers through it to make it neat again. If this tree of life doesn't exist, will all of us be unable to return? I catch a glimpse of fleeting sadness in his eyes this time. If everything must fade away, then I wish I could stay in this moment forever. We returned to my room after walking through the moonlit corridor. The firelight gradually dims, its last embers casting a gentle glow on his peaceful expression. He leans down and kisses my forehead once more.
Don't overthink it. Rest. You'll feel better soon enough. And when you open your eyes, you might realize this was all just a dream.
My eyelids feel as heavy as lead. I'm sleepy, yet why isn't Xavier going to bed? Has he never felt exhaustion before? Good night. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, we'll see each other tomorrow. I recognized you the moment I saw you. When you return to Philos and see I'm not there, will you be angry that I deceived you again? There's a spaceship docked at the northern edge of Starfall Forest. It should still be working. Coordinates have already been inputted into the navigation system. You can leave if you want. It'll take you to that beautiful little planet.
What is he talking about? When I wake up again, I feel a boat swaying beneath me. I'm alone. An elderly ferryman sits at the stern. There's a dull ache in my heart and my memory is a blur. I don't know who I am or where I came from. Again? This girl is always losing her memory. I look around. The river, cave, rocky shores. Everything is unfamiliar to me. Where am I? Who are you? I look at the ferryman. I feel like I know him, but I can't remember who he is.
Once you cross the boundary between life and death, the rest of the journey is yours to walk alone.
For some reason, I'm clutching an oddly shaped fragment. It emits a faint glow in response to the energy flowing from my heart. The boat enters a narrow cave passage. The sound of water droplets echo and strikes my ear. Before long, the boat gently runs aground. It rests at the shore before a hazy halo of light. Everything is immersed in soft, gentle radiance. Motionless, I stand where I am. I cannot suppress the feeling that behind the light lies an invisible force. It's drawing me in. The faint sound of wind approaches from the distance as if coming from the entrance to another world. When my palm touches the light, a blinding radiance surges like the tide to engulf me. When I open my eyes again, I find myself in an unknown place. There is no sky above and no earth under me. The world floats in a sea of consciousness. The air is moist and seemingly flowing with life. I can almost believe I'm positioned at the end of a circulatory system that's making its way back around. What is that? Countless fine veins of light extend from a main trunk under their rhythmic flow, resembling the breathing of a large organism. It's a beautiful, enormous tree.
Go a little further ahead, and you can return to where everything began.
Who are you?
Our fates are similar, and yet they are different. I sensed your presence when you entered the heart of the planet.
The heart of the planet? I feel like I know that place very well.
You must be feeling very confused right now.
You're telling me.
Wherever there is light, the shadow must follow, and together they'll coexist. Likewise, Cindersfell is the shadow of Philos. It is also a failed possibility that continues to expand.
So, Cindersfell is heading towards its destruction too. Why am I here then?
Just like how you saved Philos, you possess the power to save the city of Revenants.
Old memories wash over me. I sat on the throne and waited for a long, long time, but my knight never returned to me. They told me the only way to save this planet is for me to walk into the heart of the planet. But if I willingly become nourishment for Philos, then why do I still feel pain and loneliness? Was I not prepared to be sacrificed? Was I waiting for someone to find me? But this time I refused to repeat the same mistake. I refused to be Philos' salvation, and I refused to be everyone's hope. The Chosen One is nothing more than a tool for selfish people who want to keep their immortality. Be it in Philos or in this city of Revenants, it's all the same.
You are correct. Philos' destruction cannot be prevented. There was once a king. When he was still a knight, he reached the same conclusion. To truly save those trapped in eternity, one must return to the correct divergence point and create new possibilities. The current Cindersfell is but a false branch. It's a tributary destined to run dry.
Are you talking about going back in time? When is the correct divergence point? She lets out a soft sigh.
The two of you chose different methods to save the planet. Neither was right nor wrong. But salvation should never be achieved through sacrifice. The path of backtracking is dangerous. Success is far from guaranteed.
I remember him bidding me farewell in the empty palace. His lonely figure walked away from the royal court. From that moment, the two of us and the planet we inhabited created different tributaries of fate.
The ether core within you shares the same origin as this planet. Its power is from the depths of the cosmos.
Going out.
Philos' fate might find a new hope, or it will march toward irreversible destruction once more. Even you shall become an unknown variable. Have you decided?
I want to go back. In the boundless passage of time, eternity is nothing but stagnation, and existing in such a state is meaningless. More importantly, Xavier shouldn't be trapped in that darkness. The light fades, and I feel my body becoming solid again as I return to the entrance of the cave. I come to my senses and I look at my hands. They're gradually becoming transparent. Does this mean this world is collapsing? The ferryman waits silently at the cave entrance. Only when he sees me emerge does he smile.
Go. You've made your decision, and I'm certain it's the best one. My dear child, I have always been proud of you, and you've been through so much. As your teacher, I owe you an apology.
Oh, is he the... from the Knight Academy? I stare at the old man's familiar face, yet I can't remember who he is. He says nothing else. He hugs me before giving me his oar. Wait. He doesn't stop, nor does he look back as he walks into the river. The waters lap the shore and wash away his last footprints. The small boat rocks back and forth as it sails along the inky black river. Acting as my guide, the glowing orb of light that was hanging from the bow vanishes once the boat docks. Shadowbind anxiously paces back and forth along the riverside. He calls out to me. When he spots me, "Are you going to take me to him?" Shadowbind stomps his hooves before galloping off with me on his back. We're heading to Cindersfell. In these final moments, I must stay by his side. No matter what happens, we'll stand together. Wind sweeps across the wasteland. The sky is drenched in blood-red light. In the distance, battle standards lie in the mud. Revenant knights stagger between mountains of corpses. No one knows when the horns of the war sounded. On this night, soaked in unnaturally bright moonlight, the revenants are reminded of the great battle that destroyed Philos. The king who destroyed Philos is a sinner who destroyed eternity.
You decided to face me alone. Shall we make a bet? Let's see if these people you're trying to save, in spite of your tainted reputation, believe in you or me. O survivors of Philos, your former king has rendered your sacrifices meaningless!
Hordes of revenants walk. They drag their stumbling feet as they approach the city walls step by step. Broken arrows and spears lie scattered across the ground. Meanwhile, he's encircled by thousands of revenants. Countless spears are thrust towards him. Countless blades slash him. The revenants have been consumed by their hatred and despair for too long. They needing a living sacrifice to pay the debt they owe to the dead. Yet Cindersfell was never meant to exist. It doesn't belong to the living or the dead. The light blade that once protected the kingdom has transformed into the dark blade that slays the dead. Before it collapses, he entrusts the protocol to me along with Philos' last chance of survival. From that moment, I was the only person who could access the divergence point and return to Philos. Yet he would remain trapped within the madness in eternity's embrace until the apocalypse arrives. The massive sword roars as it slashes and cuts. It impales me, one revenant soldier after another, as it lunged toward him. However, the revenant slowly realizes the blade that once struck fear into them can no longer reduce them to ashes. Silence lasts for a moment, then they erupt into a frenzy. The sword is no longer the arbiter of death. They cannot be destroyed. There's no need to be afraid. They celebrate, they howl, they surge like a wave toward the lone figure who still stands with a sword. Xavier! He turns his head, his gaze passing the flames and smoke of battle. When we make eye contact, surprise appears on his face.
How did you...
Why did you think I'd go somewhere without you? I spur Shadowbind through the Revenant horde. Without any hesitation, I charge toward him. Our paths intersect. I lean down and grasp his wrist, and I pull him up behind me in one swift motion. I'm the one holding his hand this time. As our powers resonate, light swiftly coalesce and forms into a blade. Streams of light wind along the back of the blade. Power surges and boils between our palms. Before the Revenants can lunge toward us, I grab his hand together. We raise the sword once more. The two swords of the stars were always meant to point in the same direction.
Now you two remember, you can die together. Philos doesn't need traitors. May you have an audience with eternity.
The great sword delivers a mighty slash. The wind howls, and the very fabric of reality shifts. Amidst violet tremors, a rift splits open the sky. Countless golden rays rain down and slice the dark clouds like sharpened blades. Philos' apocalypse shall descend at long last.
The light! It's the light!
It's the sun!
We've returned to Philos! Our salvation!
The sunlight is akin to a torrential downpour after a long drought. Delirious with joy, the Revenants raise their heads and race towards a small hill formed by piles of armor. They're desperate to be the first ones to touch the light. Yet it's so dazzling and brilliant that it's impossible to look at. The Revenants are forced to close their eyes. The black armor covering their bodies start to crack. It happened once, but then there's another crack, and a third crack appears. Crystals rapidly spread across their skin, the skin that's touched by the light. They reach their shoulders, and chests, and arms.
It burns! Monster! I've become a monster! No! This is a wanderer!
This is the price they have to pay? Their faith that's forged from lies, a pilgrimage built upon flesh and blood. All of it leads to an even more absurd death. The overwhelming flood of light knocks them down and breaks them. In the distance, atop a pile of armor, the lone figure remains. He sways as if he's about to fall.
The eternity of Philos! It cannot! It cannot!
That body, which channeled the powers of countless revenants, is like an arrow at the end of its flight. However, it stubbornly maintains its massive spectral form. In his despair, he turns only to see a light blade tear through the heavens. It rushes toward him with an overwhelming force. Light blades devour heaven and earth. Time seems to freeze in this moment. Then there is silence. Shadowbind, who's beneath me, vanishes, and as I'm about to fall into the sharp spears below, a hand grabs me. Xavier! The radiance of the sun and the moon emanates from his body, yet the heavy blade in his hand can no longer be lifted. The world falls into silence. Only he and I remain. He kneels beside me. He silently looks at me. He opens his mouth as if he's trying to speak, but he can't utter a single word. I realize it's the first time he said my name since I arrived in this world.
It's been a long time.
He wipes away the tears from the corner of my eye, yet more replace them as I quickening rate. I don't understand how he can laugh while saying those words. The most important person in my life left me for a faraway place. I thought he would never return. The days we spent apart grew longer than the days we stood side by side.
Was this your choice?
I shake my head, then I nod. He doesn't actually know my decision.
Good. The choice you made must be the best one.
Lumiflora petals mingle with ashes and float into the sky. Dyed by twilight, our story is coming to an end. Oh my god.
You said my shoulder was cold and a hard pillow, and yet you slept for so long. Do you like this one?
I do like it, but...
You have a unique way of showing affection.
I'm just testing how it feels in the moment.
Nimble and light when you hold it. It's perfect for your skill level. It managed to strike the crown, has good durability, and is good as a sword.
The sword is well made, but the storm has passed in this world filled with sunlight and flower fields.
We don't need it. Looks like you've been enchanted. You miss it already?
Of course not.
My hand would look weird if it's not holding a sword. But now, you gave me the best answer.
Oh. Looks a little bit like a bird's
The
tail.
sunlight and flowers are too peaceful. We could use a lively friend.
You're so cute. If only we have one bird, it might fly away when it's too energetic. Oh, they're so cute. When there's two of them, they'll be attached to each other.
Once they're used to caring for each other, they'll never be apart.
Is it just like a dream? Scared. Face is so cold.
The sun is coming out. We won't be cold for much longer. We'll always be together.
Oh. Oh.
Zay, why do the knights always say, "May Philos prosper under eternity's divine gaze"? Is it because we have very, very long lives?
In Philos' oldest historical records, eternity doesn't refer to one's lifespan. but rather the stories of humanity. These tales are told by both the living and the dead. The living gather the embers left by those who have passed away. The footsteps of the dead echo in the dust. Their stories shall be recited by poets and told by travelers around a campfire. When their names are spoken once more, only then will their unfulfilled ambitions, unexpressed love, and unsolved mysteries transform into stories that are passed down for generations. And to endure the test of time can be seen as a divine miracle. Eternity has always been about stories that can immortalize humanity's joys and sorrows.
As soon as I let go of his hand, the world is released from some kind of constraint. Everything begins to move backward. My consciousness is plunged once more into that familiar darkness. But a beam of warm light gently lifts my body. In the rapidly flowing river of time, I witness many miracles I've never seen before. A tree learns to stand again from the scorched earth. A bird breaks free from the mud and takes flight. All the wilted flowers with faded colors return to the hands of knights rushing to meet their beloved. Tiny life regrows in the magnificent tapestry of fate. Time radiates outward with countless pathways leading back to the past. Until everything slows down once more. At the very last moment, I hear a gentle voice speak.
Thank you for choosing him.
Outside the castle, the sky is clear and the air is crisp. The surrounding landscapes sit in silence. The skylark's song drifts down from above. This day is no different from yesterday, just like countless other days that have slipped away in Philos. A small boy kneels amongst the flowers. He struggles to lift a sword that's taller than himself.
You had a selection of weapons presented before you. Why did you choose the sword?
It suits me.
Baby Xavier? Ah, so cute! Philos' royal family has always upheld a tradition of honing martial powers. Throughout all his training, he showed a strong aptitude for swordsmanship. It's as if he was born with those nimble, graceful techniques already ingrained in his heart. In less than a month, he surpassed the older students who were training for a year.
They say that once a knight takes the sword, they must shoulder the responsibility of protecting Philos.
She slightly bends down and looks into the child's somewhat bewildered eyes. She smiles while stroking the wind-tousled hair.
Is that the kind of person you want to be?
He follows his mother's gaze toward the corridor. It's lined with shining golden portraits of past Philosian kings.
Should I?
Predetermined answers aren't what makes us human. It's about embarking on a journey to find answers, even when you already know them. Even I don't know what kind of person you should become.
Where can I find that answer?
He holds his hand for a moment. Then she lets go and leans down to straighten his wind-ruffled collar.
Go to the paths you've walked, the people you've met, and the very depths of your heart. The farther you travel on your journey, the closer you are to that answer.
The young boy nods. He sort of understands.
When that time comes, will I know why I'm supposed to wield a sword?
Yes. However, a sword is still a weapon. It can and will harm others. Knights wield swords for their king, and kings wield swords for their country. You shall have peace in your heart only when you wield your sword for the choices you've made of your own free will.
A field trip to a nearby star system? Who came up with that excuse?
He did.
I did.
All of us did.
I don't sense a hint of remorse from any of you. Face the wall and reflect on your actions. Xavier, come here.
Yes, sir.
Was Traceback 1 your idea?
Traceback 1?
Yes.
The backtrackers and the secret base under the library were also your doing.
Yes.
I must have committed terrible sins in my past life. How else could I have ended up teaching self-righteous fools like you?
Wanderers have gnawed this planet inside out. Why are you pretending you can't see it?
It's not your turn yet. Shut your mouth.
Stubborn old fool.
A kingdom will not capitulate to anyone, not even its crown prince. You will be abandoned by the royal family the moment you turn your back on them. Have you truly thought this through?
I know what I need to do.
I guess Xavier thinks he's some kind of savior. You're only making these grand statements because you were born with wealth.
This has nothing to do with you. You're jealous he's the crown prince while you're nothing but a forgotten hooligan from a branch fa- Oh, I see. Is it because you lost to him today?
Matters involving the royal family do not concern you, peasant. You have no right to criticize us.
You...
All of you are so... Can you put the arguments aside for once? Or am I the only one who actually wants to embark on this voyage?
Thorin. Everything's coming together right here. Kind of. Nearby, their friend looks down with a smile and records the upbeat quarrel among the backtrackers in a knight's handbook. Even when they first settled his name, they're almost ready to brawl because they thought it wasn't catchy enough. Xavier looks into the distance. His thoughts drift to the space between the leaves where a small bird is singing high above the branches. He feels as if the river of time that endlessly flows has become to a standstill. The chirping birds, the drifting clouds, and the wind gently rustling treetops seemingly freeze. He turns around and gazes at the green fields at the foot of the distant mountains. For some unknown reason, he thinks he's here. He thinks he hears someone calling his name. Yet under the dappled light shifting through the leaves, there's only one fruit that has fallen.
That brat hits too hard. Oh, I almost forgot. I won't tell her about the backtracking, don't worry.
What happens between us doesn't involve you.
You... This is what I get for trying to be nice.
It's time to go. While I was resting in Silvercord, I heard them singing stories about you. You always worry that you aren't doing enough. But you're a good queen. You always will be.
Traceback 2 is preparing for launch. We'll be traveling to a universe that remains unknown to us.
Stars sweep past the windows one by one. During a long voyage, most interstellar travelers choose to enter sleep-in pods. Only one does not. Although there are countless moments of lightning streaking across stardust, he sits alone in the cockpit. His thoughts are indiscernible. And passing a beautiful alpha. Is that supposed to be alpha? Beta? I don't know. I don't know what that is. When passing a beautiful star cluster, he doesn't look back. When passing a star that's about to be born, he doesn't look back. When passing the floating, faintly glowing dust in the cosmos, he still doesn't look back. The spacecraft finally passes through the long, seemingly endless deep space tunnel that's akin to a river that flows forever. It carries him to an unknown destination. But in the universe where time still has an end, he must have gone to where I am. And that's when he went to be with the current MC in the main story, right?